What's up guys? Welcome to another video. I'm Lori. So today I want to give you 5 ways to make money with real estate. It's actually easier than you think. Step 1, buy a house. That's like the easy breezy one. You usually buy a house for your family, you and your family to live in. Once you have your first property, you can leverage it to buy so many other things. So I guess the point of the first one is just kind of a stepping stone to get to a whole bunch of other things. So if you buy your first house, and if you want to move to a cheaper place every couple of years or a smaller house, you can actually make money on the equity of that house every time you move. So for example, you buy your first starter home, maybe it's $300,000. Maybe after 3 or 4 years, that house is worth $500,000 or $600,000. You sell that house, then you move to a little bit, maybe you're like in a busy city. This is what I did. And then move out of the city, get a little bit less house, like a cheaper house, and then it's going to cost you a little bit less, and then eventually you do that every time. It's like flipping, but it's like long-term flipping because you're actually living in it. So you're still making money over a couple of years at a time. Okay, the second way to make money is house hacking. House hacking is basically renting any part of your property that you already have and you already live in it, you're already paying for it anyway. So for example, you could have a basement apartment. If you don't have a basement apartment, you could have a garage that maybe you can rent out. Maybe you do live in a busy town. People are premium looking for parking spots. Rent out your driveway. You can rent out your shed. Like there's many ways that you can house hack your place. Just have to be creative. Okay, so the third way to make money in real estate is flip houses. So it's very similar to the first one, but the first one's actually your primary residence. You're actually living there, and so you might as well, if you're moving anyways, every couple of years you'll make money. But this way is actually flipping houses. So if you already rent or you already own a place, this is about purchasing another property, kind of like a fixer-upper, where you just go in, you got it, renovate it, hopefully within a few months, and then you flip it, and then you can basically turn it. Let's say you buy it for $200,000, put in $100,000 instead of selling it for $300,000. The value will probably have gone up to $450,000 or $500,000, depending on what city, country you live in. But with flipping houses, you might have to pay capital gains. I know here in Canada, if you're not living in it and it's not your primary residence, you will probably have to pay capital gains, which is basically 50% of the difference from when you bought it to when you sold it. You might have to pay some money to the government. So you have to weigh out your options, see if it's worth it. Step number 4 is basically renting out your house that you're not living in. So basically you bought it a second house. You can either rent it out to long-term tenants or you can rent it out on Airbnb. And sometimes you can make more money on Airbnb depending on your location. So it's definitely something to consider. The 5th option is if you don't have a place and you want to rent an apartment, you can actually rent. In some places, not every city in Canada or the States would allow this. So you have to check your regulations. But you can rent an apartment and then turn around and rent it out on Airbnb. So the landlord obviously has to agree to it. There has to be a legal document that they're aware that you are going to rent out their property and then turn it around and rent it on Airbnb. But you can make decent money if you're in a great location and if the landlord allows that. All right, so a bonus tip is through REIT, which is a real estate investment trust. So basically it's a company that owns and manages income-related business. So basically it's a stock that you would purchase like on the stock market, and they manage the income producing properties. So it's a great way to invest in that. So basically if you have an online brokerage account, you can actually put money towards these REITs, which is online, like I said, like a stock. You would purchase them and then you are part ownership in that company. So anytime, and they also pay dividends. So then they would also give you dividends on that. So these are great tips. Let me know in the comments below if you're gonna try any of these. It's a great way to kind of build your wealth through real estate. It's one of the greatest investments. Usually they do go up in value. All right, so there's my tips. Let me know if they are helpful, and please leave a like and a subscribe if you did like the video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.